Hey, what is up guys, GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. Now today we're gonna talk about Mihara Overspec. Now what is happened or what has changed, if you guys are not aware, they basically buffed her slightly to the point that now she's no longer bugged. Alright, so there is going to be one thing to consider, that she is going to be very strong now against bosses. In the recent update with Arcana, alongside with that you can see right here, added effects that cannot be removed to some skill effects of Mihara Bonding Chain. Alright, applies ensnaring chains of skill 1 body contact and dragging chain of burst skill bonding pain. Now Mihara is pretty much fixed, and it feels like she's going to be much stronger now moving forward, and I feel like she's going to be a better candidate for a lot of players to consider pulling. Now first things first, for those of you who are not aware, Mihara Overspec, her banner is still going to be here for a couple more days, right? It's like 2 days plus, so hopefully if you guys are looking to recruit her, you still can. And I feel like with the previous controversy of how her skill works, like it's inconsistent against some bosses, it seems to work against some and might not work against some, which is going to be a little bit weird. So you can see some of the results previously that were recorded in comparison to RAPI Red Hood, like she's doing like way less. So that is going to be what it is, right? Now, in the recent update or recent patch, most of her issues are pretty much essentially fixed. So now she's definitely a way better character. And let's do a deep dive in where she shines and where she doesn't, because I feel like there's a little bit of misconception in how she actually works and how strong is she in comparison to RAPI Red Hood. Now for those of you who are not aware how Mihara Overspec works, she is going to be a DOT character where she applies this thing called sustain damage. So there's going to be two types of damages in this game. One is distributed damage, one is sustain damage. Sustain damage is much more of a DOT format of damage, where you apply this sort of debuff on the boss somewhat, and then they basically have some sort of damage over time. And you can see this present in her burst skill, right, where you are able to apply that effectively, and also in skill 1, where you can see right here, she is going to apply a certain percentage as sustain damage every 1 second continuously and stacks up to 20 times. So this is going to make her shine mostly in boss situations. Now if you try to use her specifically in campaign, this is not where she shines, alright? You're using her in the wrong place. RAPI Red Hood is going to be much better in that particular scenario if you're just looking specifically just to tackle a campaign, either the normal or the hard. Now I feel like there's a lot of players that try to use her either in the campaign or in tower specifically, and I feel like that's where she suffers a little bit, because number one, the sustain damage, basically you gotta apply the stacks to the same target. So if the target dies off, then you lose that build up that you have towards the stack that you are basically trying to do, right? So this is why she shines more towards bosses. If you're hitting like multiple enemies in the map, they are better characters for that. So she is going to be much more specialized in that particular case, which is why if you are new or a new-ish player, she might not be the best recommendation. But then if you're a new player, you're probably better off getting a Siren or Little Mermaid in that case, right? Because she's going to be the flexible character that everyone should get. Whereas Mihara is going to be much more of a DPS, where she is going to be consistently slot in depending on the situation. So just to clarify again, she sucks in AoE scenarios, alright, when there's multiple enemies on the map, and also she's not that good if the enemy dies very fast, alright? She's supposed to be a hard-hitting Nikke that basically builds up the stacks towards the sustain damage. So where she shines is towards bosses. Bosses, if there's only 1 or 2 boss on the map, that's where she's very strong. So you can sort of see she sort of fit much more into the end game player. If you are someone that's like trying to bring her in, you're trying to complement your end game team, that's where Mihara Bonding Chain shines. So you can see right here on some of the tier lists we have, for example, for Pritwan tier list, in either story, high deficit or low deficit, you can see she's not that high of a ranking. She's all the way at the bottom in terms of like either B or C tier, right? So that's going to be where she's placed at. And I feel like I can pretty much agree on that. If you're looking for a character to do campaign stages for you, they are just way better characters for that. RAPI Red Hood is just going to be that flexible character that helps you right there. Now bossing is where she shines. So you can see right here, she's ranked across very consistently on par with Cinderella, and you know, neck in RAPI Red Hood, so and Scarlet Black Shadow, which is kind of insane, right? If you think about it, usually most characters when they are strong, they are just strong everywhere. But Mihara is going to be one of the few characters that I think is a little bit unique in the sense that she's so bad in story, in campaign, but she's so good in bosses, right? So you really don't have that kind of character like her, right? Because I think so far, if a character is strong, they generally tend to be strong everywhere, right? And of course PvP is an exception because that's where like certain characters like rocket launcher and shotgun shines in particular. But what I'm talking about is generally like in the general content. Now let's show you guys right here. I'm going to enter into this particular boss in campaign. So this is Sen, right? So I'm just going to use her as an off burst. I will have Little Mermaid, I will have Crown, I will have RAPI Red Hood and Scarlet Black Shadow here bursting. And I want to show you guys a little bit of potential that she can have as an off burst character, right? Okay, so let's go. So I will try to go. I need to manual burst for this one, I forget, right? I don't know why they specifically make it so that this stage you have to manual burst. But you know what, not gonna complain. Let's get rid of the missile launchers first because these ones are going to be the one that will do a lot of damage. Okay, get rid of the turrets. So now Scarlet Black Shadow is bursting, as you can see. So I believe soon there will be a red circle. I will swap to Mermaid just to do that, so you can see. Okay, so far I've burst once with RAPI Red Hood. I've burst once with Scarlet Black Shadow. So now this is my third burst, right? As you can see, I want you guys to look at the damage so far, right? RAPI Red Hood did about 165 million. Scarlet Black Shadow did about 110 million. Keep in mind they both burst once. And Mihara is doing 102 million, alright? And she doesn't burst at all. So you can see she's almost on par with the other two as well. Very, very interesting in that particular case, right? So I can basically, I'll try to do a one burst on Mihara right here, right? How about that? We just do a fair comparison. So all of them burst once. Now it's not going to be super consistent because I do have to like destroy some of these missiles and rocket. So now, boom. So all of them burst once. So we got RAPI Red Hood at 210 million, Scarlet Black Shadow at 127, and you can see Mihara Bonding Chain at 191. So that is pretty cool, right? You can see damage is almost, you know, comparable towards RAPI Red Hood in that case, right? And again, I want you guys to keep in mind that this is going to be in a Crown and Little Mermaid team. Obviously, sustained damage is going to be a little bit more complex. She's going to have her own unique buffs and stuff. But the boss is water, in case you guys are wondering, so none of them have the elemental advantage. Keep in mind. So either way, it is going to be very, very good. So let's show you guys in the Indie Villa as well, which has been fixed, alright? In case you guys are wondering, the screenshot right now that I took earlier, so this particular one, previously, Mihara was barely doing about half, or even like 1/3 of RAPI Red Hood's damage, right? But ever since, after the sort of like hot fix, they have pretty much switched up the meta entirely for Indie Villa, right? So I'm going to jump into it. I'm not going to do the entire thing, but just to show you guys, I'm not really an Indie Villa abuser. I prefer to do Kraken because I feel like that's going to give me more things. But here you can see, we're going to put like Mihara Bonding Chain right there, alongside with RAPI Red Hood, Little Mermaid, Crown, and then we got Modernia as an off burst, right? You can also use Mihara as an off burst and Asuka, alright, if you want to be the one that's helping you to burst, because Mihara is so good as an off burst. I think she pretty much replaces what's her name? Modernia in that particular case. In most situations when there's a boss, Modernia is still going to be strong in situations where if you need specific you know, like destroy parts extremely fast, or you want to like wipe things extremely fast in the campaign, so that's going to be where she shines. Okay, so far we got one burst from RAPI Red Hood and one burst from Mihara Bonding Chain. So I'm gonna try to have a look at it right after this. Okay, so far you can see full duration for both of them, right? Mihara Bonding Chain is leading at 290 million right there. That is kind of insane. Now, granted, the gears is a bit different. I feel like my gears are around the same. They both have about the same elemental advantage, right? But I think maybe like, I think RAPI Red Hood has actually better gears, right? I can show you guys But let me get rid of this first. Gotta get rid of the tail, right? Okay, this is the part that we wait for 2 burst duration. Okay, so 1 more burst from, in this case, Mihara Bonding Chain. So both of them got 1 burst each. So let's wait for the burst duration to end. There. Okay, so now you can see RAPI Red Hood is leading slightly, 502, 467. Very, very close, right? Very, very close. It's not as far as before. So I would say this is going to be, if you are looking to beat Indivilla, or if you care about this, then I would say like, yeah, this is going to be what you want to lean towards. Ideally, you want to destroy the pinceers and this thing flying on top as well, right? Okay, destroy the pinceers and there, and then that thing at the up, right? The tail. So don't destroy the tail. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Okay, so I'll see if I can try to enter phase 2. I forgot what is the
how heavy your burden has been. Under the light of the kingdom.
What is the number of burst duration? Are we still on even? So right now, I think we should be about even, or maybe like I think RAPI Red Hood is leading by 1 burst.
Under the light of the kingdom.
No, RAPI Red Hood is leading. So I feel like maybe with the parts distribution and also like the explosion, where when the boss do shoot out missiles and stuff, maybe RAPI Red Hood is going to be, okay, this is going to be the next phase. Wait, who is bursting right now? So we got Little Mermaid again. So if you guys care about, okay, so back to Mihara Bonding Chain. Okay, so again, everybody got destroyed right there. But either way, I feel like right now, if you're looking for the best fire DPS, alright, in terms of like against bosses, I would say Mihara is tied with RAPI Red Hood. Very, very close, alright, depending on who you have overall. Both can be used. Now, of course, I still think that RAPI Red Hood shines a little bit more.
That's a shame.
Just from the nature of her having 2 elements, and also she's RAPI, right? She's the main character. She has an advantage against 2 elements, and also she has the AoE explosion, which makes her much more useful for campaign, and she can also be burst 1, right? So comparing RAPI Red Hood generally is just not going to be fair, right? I think RAPI Red Hood just does way more. But I don't think Mihara is that far behind if you guys are looking at it. So let me show you guys a little bit of my gears as a whole. As you can see, 10, 10, 10, I'm using the same cube, I believe, which is Bastion cube on both of them. So these are going to be the, so this one I haven't gotten elemental advantage yet. This one I got elemental damage dealt right here. This one I got pretty good, decent ones. I need to improve my RAPI Red Hood gears. But that's going to be for RAPI Red Hood, and this is going to be for Mihara. Mihara, same 10, 10, 10, same cube. Alright, so this is going to be the one. We got attack, critical rate, elemental damage. This one critical rate, attack percent, max ammo capacity. There's no elemental damage here, but that's fine. I got a black line here, pretty cool. Alright, and then I got another elemental. Maybe Mihara has like 1 extra line of elemental, but pretty much that's going to be what you want to consider when you're building them. Look for the elemental advantage, you know, attack percent, and since they are both machine gun, critical rate, critical damage is not too bad for them as well, right? Or max ammo capacity. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this particular video. I feel like, again, Mihara Bonding Chain, with the recent fix, she's pretty much essentially kind of buff. She's better than, way better than she was before. So definitely consider picking her up if you guys haven't already. If not, you can wait for wishlist for her to be added later on, say for Stellar Blade collab. I know you guys are waiting for that as well. With that, that's going to be it for this particular video. Let me know what you guys think of Mihara right now in the current meta. As per always, subscribe, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.